Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl India Simone. Welcome back to my channel where I focus on all things lifestyle, wellness, and real estate related. So it's a brand new year. It's 2022. I'm super excited for this year. I just wanted to do a short video on just kind of recapping how 2021 was for me. I know I did a video, my last video was the hard truth about starting in real estate and how there were just certain things that I didn't know before I started. This one is not really, I'm not gonna really break down like the hard truth of when you're actually in real estate, but I did just kind of want to recap because I think it's important for people to understand that like you're not alone in how you feel. You're not alone in feeling like you are not where you want to be. And I think that that was really the theme of 2021 for me, was really about faith and discipline. I will say that I have started things all my life and have never really had the discipline to continue to carry it out. I either was too disciplined or too stuck in something to move forward, or I didn't have the discipline enough and the courage enough to step out and do things and just live off of faith. So moving forward with real estate, I think that God really, I'm just very spiritual and faith-based. So I really felt like God was challenging me, like, okay, things are hard, but are you gonna quit? Because I was seeing, you know, I had goals for myself. Like my first year, I was like, I want to at least do 4 million. I think that's what I said in sales. Like I want to at least do this. And coming from a team, it's easier to get leads. It's easier to have a Rolodex, so to speak, of like clientele. But that doesn't mean that the leads are going to close. Like just because you get a lead doesn't mean from your team or from Zillow doesn't mean that it's going to end up in a closing. So you still got to do the work. And it just felt like I was pushing out so much work that I wasn't receiving anything back. It just felt like I was driving myself nuts. So I had a few personal referrals from when I was waitressing. I had some team leads, some Zillow. I was answering Zillow calls. Honestly, I should have answered more Zillow calls because I was so focused on my personal referrals and my team leads that I lost track of that. So that was another lesson that I learned. But it just felt like I was pushing so much out. Like I was doing so many showings. I was like literally on FMLS every single day looking up houses for people. It was a hard market to get into as a real estate agent. And so that was also a challenge for me. And my first 4 deals all terminated. And it was so discouraging. Like I got my first contract like November or December of when I first started. And it was just really random. It came from like someone that just like found me on the website. And I had just started, so I was just so grateful for that. And that terminated. And I was like, okay, well, we'll get them next time. And then I was under contract again, and that terminated. And then I was under contract again, and that terminated. And then I was under contract again. And 4 days before closing, people, 4 days before closing, terminated. Like, it just seemed like, it was just so discouraging. I had leads that changed their minds. I just really felt defeated. I really felt like, is this for me? And I really had to like tap into that like faith, you know? I really had to really tune in and figure out, what am I doing wrong? And I realized I was overworking myself. I wasn't, it's like, okay, you have a plant, right? The instructions say water the plant once a week. And you know that if you water a plant, it's gonna grow. Well, let's say that you water the plant one day, like during that week, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, I could use a little bit more water. So then you keep watering it. And then another day that week, you overthink and you're like, well, I don't see a new leaf yet, so let me just water it some more. And then you end up with yellow leaves and a droopy plant that is overwatered, the roots start rotting, like you ruin the plant, right? But let's say like if like you had that plant and you just watered it once a week, like the instructions say, water it, and then you just were patient enough, and in like the next week you see a new leaf starting to sprout, you know? So life, I realize, in work, just actually, like, that's metaphor for life in general, is don't overdo it. And I realized, and I mean, I felt it too, that I was doing way too much work. Like, I realized that I was not being productive in the right ways. Like, the stuff that I was doing, like, yeah, send a client a house that they might like, but it's also their job, if they are a client, to look at the houses themselves too. Like, people are self-sufficient. And I felt like I was really trying to so much hold on to the outcome and control the outcome that I was missing out on the joy, or just seeing the joy in between, or even I was controlling so much that I was pushing opportunities away from me. Like, the more I held on to something, the more it was just like not coming to me, you know? It was just like a desperate feeling. I was Miss Desperado. And so I had to learn to scale back a little bit. I had two closings. My first closing was this girl that I met from Zillow, and she was just like, you know, the first few houses that we saw was just like, no, we were looking for like a month. Came upon a house and she loved it. It was just like, it reminded of her grandma's house. Her grandma had just passed away. It just was honestly perfect timing. And she told me, like, am I gonna be your first sale? And I was like, yeah, you are. Like, you know, I've had some deals, they just didn't happen. And she was like, well, I'm so excited to be your first sale. Like, I can't wait to introduce you to my office. She worked for a closing attorney, funny enough. And yeah, after that, we like clicked so much. Like, we still hang out, we still text. And I actually use that closing attorney now because I've become friends with all of them, like, or acquaintances, like I've become acquainted with all of them. I trust them. I'm able to work very closely with them. So I love that. And that showed me like, oh wow, like things really happen for a reason. And that really happened for a reason. I've had most of my closings that I've had so far at that office because they've really become a trusted like person with me. I didn't have an inspector that I really very much liked, you know, like not my go-to inspector. I found after that, like, you know, and with that first closing, my go-to inspector. And then, so that was in July, I think, or August. And then I had another closing in September. And that client asked me to do some interior decorating for her, which that's still a work in progress because she's renovating the house. But, you know, and she was from my hometown in Hampton. So it just seemed like, okay, wow, like I had to realize that things happen for a reason. As much as I was so hurt throughout the year because nothing seemed to be working out, I had ran through my savings, went back waitressing. I forgot to mention that, like, I stopped and then I went back because I ran out of money, like, and that, you know, and then I had to quit again after a month because it was just too much. Like, the club was open till 4 a.m. I didn't get home till 5 or 6. And then I would have to wake back up for meetings and to be there for people, like for my main job that I really wanted to work out. Like, it just wasn't working. So I had to like release that again. Because I just knew like, okay, like there's a blockage with this because I'm not releasing. And so I released that job and said like, I can't do it anymore. And then that's when my first closing happened. Then my second one happened. Then I was stale for a couple of more months. Like, I was helping people find, you know, we were looking, I had a couple under contracts and those terminated, but I handled those terminations better because I just kind of knew like, okay, like with every termination comes another opportunity. And so I shifted, you know, I had a mind shift also of not only like having more discipline and knowing that things are going to work out. If you put out the work, they will happen. Releasing control, not overthinking it and overdoing it, and being reverse productive. And what did I just say? I don't remember, but yeah, I just really had to like trust the process and not to hold on. That's what I said, not to hold on to the outcome, and to know with every door closed, another one opens. And even though I knew that inherently, it was just very hard for me to apply that when it came to like my career this year. And so that was a big learning lesson for me. I really did some more like deep dive soul searching, and a book that really helped me, I actually listened to the Audible, and I think I'm just gonna make it just a yearly thing, just to listen to it, to keep my mind in that same alignment, is the book by Gabrielle Bernstein, which love everything that she does, but Gabrielle Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. And it really taught me about, like, I really learned some like prayers and some just mindset shifts from that, and just trusting the process and trusting that God has a plan for me, and just having faith over fear. And I applied those concepts to my life. In December, I had 5 under contracts. Like, I got 3 under contracts in one day. One of those terminated, which it just wasn't the right rental property for a client of mine, but the other 2 sticked. They stuck. And so I had 3 closings in December. I was supposed to have 4, but the one new construction we had to push back to January. Honestly, those builders didn't have to be so gracious with my client. She's had a few hiccups, but again, faith over fear. Like, I prayed for her, she prayed for herself. Like, me and the lender, we really worked together, and we got that secured for her. And her closing's on Friday, so that's why I'm just super excited about that. But yeah, it was a real learning curve for me, because I'm used to being the one that gives people advice. I had to really step back and take the advice that I give other people and learn that it's gonna be okay. And so really, if you take anything away from this, like, yes, I had 5 closings this year, which I'm not gonna be hard. I'm learning not to be hard on myself about. Like, I really expected way more, but I learned not to be hard on myself about it. I'm happy and grateful for the closings that I had this year and the growth that I've experienced. But if there's anything that I can say to take away from this, is to trust the process, do the work, obviously, because with visualization and affirmations and with the whole concept of manifestations, you have to do the work. Like, you can't just sit back and not do it. And so have goals, but not be so rigid to the goal, like to the outcome. Like, release the outcome. No, like, this is what I want, but I am moving in a way that is for the highest good of all. And knowing that when I do that, that things are going to work out for me, and just staying in alignment, you know? Hard days are still gonna come. I still have hard days, but I'm able to in an easier and healthier way, shift my mind back into alignment of things are gonna work out for me. And so if you're starting out in real estate and you feel like you've burnt out your savings, you are just very you're feeling discouraged, or not even just in real estate, if in life you're feeling very discouraged, something bad has happened, just know that with every door that closes, another one is going to open. Pray, and yeah, just trust the process, and you're not alone. And so yeah, that's all I really have for today. I plan on doing a short video, but I just needed to get that out because I didn't do a recap for the year on Instagram. I just didn't really feel like doing all of that. I'm working on that content as well. and just stepping out, but I just wanted to just provide some, you know, a background of what I experienced, and you're not alone. So comment below if you also are in real estate and have, or not in real estate, in any career, and have experienced similar feelings to me or are in that space. Feel free to also reach out via message, DM on Instagram. My information's in the bio. If you have any questions when it comes to real estate, or just have a little tidbit, I will be, again, focused this year on content. So I plan on keeping up my weekly videos posted on Friday, but every other week I'm gonna do what I call a bi-weekly vlog, where I just kind of walk you through what my week is looking like and what I get done during the week. So if you have anything else you'd like to see on this channel as far as real estate goes, or wellness and lifestyle as well, because that is where my background is naturally in, comment below. I'd love to share more with you guys and just be vulnerable, transparent, and honest with you guys. And so, yeah. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that ding 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 bell below, so then you know when I have a new video out. And yeah, I pray for a abundant and prosperous and easeful year for everyone, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.